Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to 49ers First Takes on a Friday. Hope everybody's weekend is shaping up to be really nice, even though the weather is getting kind of crummy outside as the holiday makes its way next week. Um, so the Niners are coming off a big win last week, as we all know, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about my expectations for this game against the Jaguars on Sunday, a game that we should win. No game is a guarantee. We found that out against Arizona, thinking we could just roll into that game and beat a team that was depleted at pretty much their most important positions, and yet we got trounced. So uh, coming into this game, my expectations are just hopefully the Niners can come out with the same kind of intensity as they did against the in their last game against the LA Rams, and maybe things will turn out a little bit better. Before I get into any of that, I just want to do a quick thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel in the past 2 years. I just recently reached, I'm over 2,500 subs, making my way to 3,000. So I just wanted to say real quickly, thank you very much. It's been a grind, the journey for sure. It's had some ups and downs, but lately it's been a lot of ups. I wish we could talk more about the 49ers and had them having a good season, but some things aren't meant to be, at least not this year. But who knows? Maybe we can turn things around. But I'll say that sometimes when there's bad news to report, it's actually more interesting, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody, all the people that have been with me through the whole time. All the super chats, all the sharing of videos and stuff, the comments, all of it. Just thank you very much. Here's to 3,000 and more. But I just want to say thank you to all of you. What's up, CG Ruthless Sports? Looks like we got some comments in here. They were here for a little bit earlier. It says 49ers 2, Jacksonville 3 from Sean Dune. Venom says 49ers are going to win 33-7. Karthik, thank you very much. I don't know if I'm the best, but I try to be decent, but I appreciate the compliment. So I guess the first thing we could get into here is coming into this game, and I know you guys can agree with this, but we got to avoid the letdown we had against the Arizona Cardinals. The game against the Rams, we came out aggressive. We didn't come out slow. We converted a lot of third downs in that opening drive, which was key. That was one thing we've been lacking with. And we were able to sustain the drives, the 2 long drives that we scored on, and get touchdowns and not field goals. And I think the Niners need to come into this game with the same type of attitude of starting fast. You're going against a young team who, even though they've won, I think 2 out of the last 4 games, I forget exactly, but the Jaguars are kind of on an uptick right now. So you kind of want to stamp that out real quick by, getting up as fast as possible and trying to, take them mentally out of this game. So the Niners' best bet is just to come out aggressive. Whether it's, continuing to run the football at a high rate, then that's what they should do. I think the Niners are at best when they come out and run the football a lot. I think the play action game suffers when we can't run the ball. And I think the play action game absolutely thrives when we're able to sustain, a long drive with a lot of runs, because what it does is it just opens up everything with teams having to commit so many guys to stop the run. So come out fast, be aggressive, and try to get up early on these young Jaguar team. They're, like I said, they're a young team. They've had a little bit of success recently. I mean, they're 2-7, but they get a little confidence, and you got to be careful of that. So I definitely think the Niners need to come out with an aggressive tone, just like last week. I know it's not transferable. You can't transfer how you start against one team to another in another game, but Niners need to do their best to figure out how to do that and come out with the same veracity and same intensity as they did against the Rams. Karthik says you're just saying I say you're the best to everyone. Oh, okay. So, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. The thing too, like I said, running the ball is important because I feel like that's our identity. The 49ers are a run first team. There's nothing wrong with that, honestly, to be a run first team. Some teams throw the ball all over the yard and deploy 5 wide receivers the whole game, and that's just how they run their offense. But I think the Niners, because of Jimmy Garoppolo's limitations, are best running the football early in games just to set up everything that they're going to do later in the game. And I think Jimmy is more successful with a good running game. The recipe in 2019 was a really good running game, fantastic defense, and the play action game. Jimmy's play action, he's one of the better play action quarterbacks in the NFL, but play action don't mean crap if you're not able to run the ball. The Niners are going to have to find a way to, I think, use more than just one or two running backs. I feel like if they continue to deploy the Elijah Mitchell only way of doing things, I think they're going to get him hurt. I mean, he's been dinged up twice already. So Elijah Mitchell is actually, I don't know if he's a game time decision. As of making this live stream, I don't know what the status is for him. I know he has a pin in his finger. He had surgery. So I don't know what the status is for Elijah Mitchell. If he does end up playing, from what John Lynch says, he's going to kind of take a backseat to Jeff Wilson Jr. so that he's not being overused. But again, we have Trey Sermon, who hasn't really touched the field, and I don't understand why that hasn't happened. But Elijah Mitchell is a really good young back, but you don't want to overuse him. He's a physical brand style runner, and he's been nicked up a little bit already. So with this hand thing, from what John Lynch says, it's just a matter of, can he do his job holding the ball more than anything. It's not the severity of the injury or the pain, he said. It's can he actually, hold the football and do what he has to do. If he can't, then he might not play. Or if he's, not 100%, they probably go with Jeff Wilson Jr. a lot more, which I'm totally fine with. Let's look at the comments here. Oops, excuse me. Venom says, I think the 49ers 100% got this next game. They played insane, beating the Rams. That was crazy. Probably the craziest game they played. Yeah, and it was their best and most complete game. So, yeah, I see them winning this game too, but I'm not going to be a betting man on it. The Niners haven't shown an ability to be, from week to week, to carry things over. They haven't been consistent. So, I would not say I'm betting they're going to win or telling everybody, yeah, we got this. But in my heart, I think they win this game. I just think they're the better team, more talented. They have a young quarterback who's had his ups and downs this year. But he's gotten his chance to play, unlike Trey Lance. But, if you had to bet it, I guess if you had to bet, you'd bet the 49ers to win this game. But the Niners really haven't shown the consistency to be 100% all in on victory. But I'm a Niners fan, so of course I'm going to say the Niners win. Gavin says, let's go faithful. You better believe it. And for all the people that say I'm negative or I have a negative outlook with the 49ers, I'm just a realist. I want them to do well. I want them to be successful. But if crap needs to be said about people in the organization or players, I'm going to say it. A lot of the people that I have on my show think the same thing, but maybe come off more positive. I'm more of the pessimist. They're more of the half glass full. But it doesn't mean you can't be critical of your team. You can be a real fan and be critical. And that whole mindset of like you can't and you just have to agree with everything they do kind of doesn't make any sense. Gavin says, Shanahan has come out and said he's doubtful for the game. Oh, okay. Thank you for the update, my man. I didn't check that. I checked as late as I could with the updates, but now he said he's doubtful. So it looks like we're going to get a big dose of Jeff Wilson Jr. And I would assume Trey Sermon's going to get some touches too. So we will see. Karthik says, I feel so bad for Trey, but also good for him. Not in a rude way, but I just like Jimmy G's work ethic and his ability to play this game a very good standard. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's been playing well this year for the most part. So I think, you don't want to mess up. You could say this. I mean, we haven't really won, but you don't want to mess up a good thing. So, he's been playing well enough to keep this thing kind of afloat. And a lot of the stuff that's been going on hasn't been him. Defense, turnovers, things of that nature. That game against Arizona, he wasn't the one that was fumbling those balls away. He was actually having a pretty decent game. So other people got to step their game up around him. But yeah, Jimmy's played well throughout the season for the most part. Karthik also says Greenlaw might lose his job. I kind of disagree with the statement. Even tough, some people are very high on Azeez Al-Shaair. Yeah, I'm very high on Azeez Al-Shaair. I mean, why not have them both, but if Azeez is playing better in the lineup, you can't really take him out. But you also can't lose your job to injury, I don't think. So we'll see. That'll be a tough one. We'll see what the coaches think. But yeah, definitely, I'm a big fan of Azeez for sure. Venom says, see, people said to trade Jimmy, even though he's actually been helping the team. It's just he struggled in other games. I think they should keep him till the end of the year, longer, depending. As much as I agree with you, I just, I think this is it for Jimmy as far as being on this team. But we could be wrong. But the Niners would save a whole lot of cap space and be able to do things with different parts of their roster if Jimmy wasn't here. Just wanted to show you guys the mug. I've had it for a while. Me and Rob Shue have the same mug. So we did a little toast on stream the other day. Karthik says, I'll be fine with Jeff Wilson Jr. and Trey Sermon being able to start. It can open up more room in the running back corp. Yeah, definitely. I don't understand exactly the reasoning behind the Trey Sermon doghouse or something he's done. I told Rob Shue and he agreed with me. I said, this is a meritocracy. A meritocracy doesn't matter where you're drafted. It doesn't matter what you signed for money-wise. It matters who the best players are, and you get the best players on the field. So if a 6th-rounder is doing better than a 3rd-rounder, then, so be it. Notorious Gav says, Greenlaw is inconsistent. Shame he got injured, so we can't see if he's developed. Yeah, he has. He has been inconsistent. They struggled a little bit too. Azeez Al-Shaair in that game against Arizona, everybody struggled in that game. There was a lot of issues with missed tackles in that game, just a lot of bad football being played. But yeah, Azeez Al-Shaair, I mean, the game against the Rams, man, he was laying out some hits, him and Afunga. He's not perfect. He was an undrafted free agent, mainly because of injuries. He probably would have been drafted decently high. So, you can't pay everybody, and sometimes guys on your roster blossom that help you maybe spend less on another guy in the future. And I don't know, you could turn someone like Greenlaw into a trade piece if Azeez really develops and they don't go back to him. To me, the Niners could use any draft capital possible. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just kind of floating an idea out there. Let Greenlaw play. We only saw him play 1 week. Come on, man. It's unbelievable. The people say that Goff was right about him, but interception is an interception in this league. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with Jerry Greenlaw, to be honest with you, man. But it's going to depend on it's not us. It's going to depend on what Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch want to do. So if keeping Azeez Al-Shaair is better for the team, then that's what's probably going to happen. But if Greenlaw plays, I'm not going to be upset either. I mean, I think the Niners, in a way, have an embarrassment of riches. You got 2 guys that can start along with Fred Warner. So, we'll see. His practice window just opened, him and a Jaquaski Tart. So I think it's like a 21-day window. He was on the practice field the other day, Dre Greenlaw. So I wonder what his statuses will be for this game. I'm going to assume he's not playing. But yeah, his practice window and Jaquaski Tart's practice window open. I got a question for you guys. Does Jaquaski Tart lose his job to a Hufanga, or do you feel more comfortable still with Tart at that role? Let me know down in the comments. Jeff Sermon, Debo, running back committee. That's good, though. Oh, yeah. I just don't want us to overuse Debo, you know? I think Kyle Shanahan has a habit of overusing really good players. So, yeah, Debo in the run game is a pretty fantastic thing. But you risk when you run a guy getting him hurt. So, hopefully IU can get more touches and Kittle, and we can kind of spread this ball around a little bit and not completely run Debo into the ground. Although I don't think Debo would complain one bit. He's having a fantastic year. He is slowly becoming one of my more favorite players. I usually don't get wide receiver or quarterback jerseys because the Niners just haven't had really good luck with them. But if he continues to play good and maybe gets a second contract and something, maybe I make a purchase on that. This is a good one. Darius says Greenlaw hasn't played bad. It's just Aziz has transcended. Yeah, he has. He's a physical player. Like, he hits. He kind of gives me a little bit of a Navarro Bowman, Patrick Willis sense. Bigger hitter. The other guys are more, about technique when they take people's down. Although Fred Warner can bring the thump too, but he's just Aziz. Every time he hits somebody, it's like a solid shot. So you said no, he better not. Well, you're probably referring to Hufanga over Jaquaski Tart. I don't know. We'll see. Where are we here? Notorious Gav says Hufanga over Tart. I'm okay with that, but I think Tart still is probably the better player all around. But you never know. They did. Kyle Shanahan did say just because Tart's healthy, he gets his job back because Tart hasn't been healthy. He's been injured over the last couple of years. He's been injured his whole career. So if Hufanga can play and play physical and not get hurt, it is what it is. There's no favorites played. Like I said, it's a meritocracy. Who is the best player and who gives us the best chance to win? I don't know if Hufanga is quite there yet. He has some lapses in coverage, but physicality wise, he's definitely a really good player. It's a good point by Notorious Gav. He says Tart costs a lot of money and is injured all the time. Yeah, agreed. If the Niners move on from a guy like Tart, I wouldn't be upset because we have a guy like Hufanga. So everything's on the table, guys, in the offseason. We got to improve this team in other areas, especially if we're going to move forward with Trey Lance. And if we have a little money saving here, saving there, moving on from this guy, that guy, saving $5 million here, $24 million here, you got to bolster the roster, especially not having a first round pick. It would be really nice to get a couple starting caliber players with that $24 million that you can plug in right away that are healthier players. The problem with the Niners is they tend to go with the cheap route. A guy who's been hurt, he had one healthy year. They decide to make a play on a guy like that, and they pay him less than they would another player. I think the Niners need to get away from that. And if they got to pay a little extra to get a guy that is healthy and is a contributing starter, then they need to do that. I got two differing things here. It says from Darius says Tart only makes $800K. We could have Minka Fitz. Tart only we could have Minka Fitz. Yeah, I don't know. I would have to look it over the cap to see what his cap hit is. I'm not exactly sure to be honest with you. Gab says the money we can save from cutting Tart we could put towards a starting cornerback. Definitely. We need to address cornerback in the offseason, guys, no matter what. I don't care if the young guys come on and play well at the end of the year. You still got to invest in that cornerback room. It's one of our biggest weaknesses on this team, and good quarterbacks feast off of that. So we got to do what we got to do to keep, you know, keep this thing going. And if that means, spending a little money in the cornerback room, then got to do it. Uh, Karthik says, but Tart is probably going to leave next year and play to the best of his ability, and then he can get us whatever. I'm all for it. I'm all for it, guys. I don't know if you get a second rounder though. You might get like a third or fourth, but maybe you're right. So another thing that helped us in the last game, I think personally, that helped us defeat the Rams and pretty much blow them out was the fact that we didn't have a lot of penalties for the most part, and we didn't turn the ball over. The game against Arizona, that was pretty much the reason we lost. We had 2 early turnovers that pretty much sealed that game. So with the 49ers, when they went and played the Rams, the Niners had the 2 takeaways. And, we had Jimmy Ward return 1 for a touchdown. So to me, you win the turnover battle, you usually win the game. And the Niners really this year haven't really won the turnover battle at all, to be honest with you, except for the Rams game. So they got to keep that going for sure against a team like Jacksonville, who, might be more susceptible to making mistakes because they're young. They have a young quarterback. I would be completely irate and frustrated if the quarterback came out and completely gobbled up our secondary. Trevor Lawrence is a young player. He's probably going to be a great one, but the Niners need to show their dominance, at least as far as the experience that they have playing on that defense, and make him look like a rookie. Please don't come out and just have him destroy us. That would mean, a lot of people are saying we're back. I don't know necessarily if we're back. We have to put this thing in successive weeks together before I'll ever say that we're back. But you beat the hard teams as much as you can. You split with them, and you beat the bad teams on your schedule. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what good teams do. We haven't been a good team this year. We lost to pretty much all the good teams that we played this year. We had wins against the Lions, the Chicago Bears, teams like that. And we've lost to pretty much anybody who has a competent quarterback. So this is a game where we got to win the turnover battle. Like I said, use whatever experiences you can to go against an inexperienced player and make some plays against them. And then don't turn the ball over yourself. Jimmy, avoid the stupid interceptions where you're staring down a linebacker, or, people hold on to the ball, man, when you're running it. I know Kittle was really bummed about the fumbles that he had and was carrying the ball all around the 49ers facility last week before the Rams game. So hopefully the Niners can transition into this game and carry a lot of the same stuff in the basement that they had, all that energy into this game against a team that you should beat. That is, to me, the biggest sign that a team is getting better and changing for the best if they can do that and not take a step back again and lose this game. Because if the Niners lose this game, then the win against the Rams made nothing, or meant nothing. So I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't say that. That's so negative." I'm just saying, like, you whoop the Rams, who are the top team in your division, and then you lose to a team like Jacksonville. It's like, who cares, right? So come out, beat a team you're supposed to beat, and let's keep this thing going. And you never know with this extra wild card spot now. Like I said, with this slow start, we might find a way to get ourselves into the playoffs. And then once you're in the playoffs, you guys, you're in, and you never know what can happen. Go back to these comments here. Jimmy leaves equals cap tart. Yeah, cap money big time. According to Notorious Gav, he says, the cap hit from Tart is 987,000 cap hit this year. That's not bad. I mean, you have to do the team a favor when you're always hurt. So good on him. Tart will give us a complimentary pick if he leaves, which is always good. Definitely. We need to focus on O-line guards and cornerback for our D line. For our D line, just saved organization money right there. Yeah. This coming draft is going to be very important, or free agency, whichever comes, whichever the Niners decide. Offensive line, especially the right side, I wonder if McGlinchey doesn't come back this year and if we use Jalen Moore as right tackle and move on from him, which again would be more money saved. And then right guard has been kind of a revolving door for the past however many years. We haven't really had a good sustainable right guard. We were supposed to have one in Aaron Banks. They said he's making progress, but you draft a guy that high and he hasn't played. That's not a good sign. But who knows? Maybe he's going to play soon, and maybe we solve our offensive line issues, and we don't have to address them in the offseason. But yeah, cornerback and offensive line are probably two of the biggest needs we have. And then, of course, you can always address the D line again for a pass rusher and maybe another receiver to back up Ayuk and Debo and Kittle. But yeah, those are kind of my needs in order. I would say corner, offensive line, defensive line, and wide receiver. Those are my order of importance in the offseason. We need to focus. Oh, excuse me. Where are we here? Yeah, I just saw that, CG. Yeah, I heard that too. That sucks. Poor little guy can't stay healthy. We need to stay consistent. It can't just be one game thing. We barely beat bad teams. Yeah, you're right. You're right. We got to stay consistent. It means nothing if we come out this week and don't play and don't do anything. We play like trash this week, then I started to let myself get excited during the Rams game, saying, "Oh, maybe the Niners are going to turn the corner this year." But I did that against the Bears, and I was mistaken. So, I'm just going to watch this game. It's an earlier game for me. On Sunday, it's a 1:00 game, and I have to work early the next day. So hopefully the Niners give me something to sleep well with Sunday night going into Monday, because it's going to be a crazy week at work this week with the holidays. So Niners better give me something to go into next week with a victory. Bob says we need to fire Parag. The players hate him and won't play for an organization that disrespects him. Bob, he's like the guy that is always trying to save the Niners a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. He goes with the Niners, a lot of players who want a contract that's going to keep them rich for a long time tend to not want to sign with the 49ers because most of Parag's deals are always team friendly. The Niners always have outs in those contracts. So we'll see. I don't think anything's going to happen to Parag, Bob, to be honest with you. And you're right. He does lowball players, but I don't know. He seems like he's a friend. He's been there a long time. So, and he's a family friend. So I don't see anything happening to him as much as we'd want him out of there and have more of an aggressive, general manager and cap guy. But I just don't think that's going to happen. So basically, you're saying we have the same needs as we did during last offseason. Yes. Isn't that sad? So sad. Too bad that Elijah Mitchell isn't playing in this game. It is. But one point I wanted to make before I get going, guys, is I don't know if you noticed, but as well as we played against the Rams, we didn't really have much of a pass rush outside of Nick Bosa. So, we brought in all these guys, Arden Key, Samson Abucom, and they were supposed to be part of this rotation to keep the Niners pass rush, going. And with D Ford going on IR and probably not playing another down for the 49ers, which, again, when you count on guys like that, which the Niners really didn't do this year. They thought of him as extra. They did go address it. But, the Niners went with like low money, low rent players, role players to fill those needs. And not a lot of production has been coming out of those guys. Armstead's had a pretty decent year, but Armstead is Armstead. He's not a pass rusher. He's more of a disruptor. And it's pretty much been Bosa and nothing else. And good teams with good receivers and good quarterbacks and good offensive lines will eat this defense for lunch. And my biggest concern is Bosa's going to get hurt again because he's compensating for the lack of help that he doesn't have. So my concern is, as much as we've spent in the off seasons before on defensive line, the Niners need to address pass rusher again in this offseason. And I wouldn't just do one player. I would have to maybe do multiple, maybe sign a guy in free agency and then sign a guy later on in the draft who's just a pass rush specialist. All I know is one is not enough. You're going to beat him into the ground, just like with Elijah Mitchell and overrunning him. So the Niners got to figure out a way to get some more pass rush, whether it's, zone blitzing or stunts or whatever it takes. There has been a lack of pass rush other than Bosa. And I noticed it during the Rams game. Anytime Stafford had time, he made his throws. The interception was kind of a freaky play. It bounced off a guy's hand. The other interception by Ward was just a miscommunication because Odell Beckham was playing and didn't have any experience in the offense. And then the fact that, they lost Robert Woods the game before this. So there was a lot of factors. The Rams didn't play well. They beat themselves, but we still whooped on them pretty good. But you have to be honest when you watch this team that they have some glaring needs on defense. Their defense isn't as strong as 2019. Main reason, they don't have much of a pass rush outside of Bosa. They're also missing experience in the secondary as far as the guys that they've had. So my hope is that in this last stretch of the season, we get more production out of other guys on the defensive line to help Nick Bosa, because if it's only the Bosa show, eventually that show is going to end. Bosa's not the healthiest guy all the time, so to just overly depend on a guy like that is foolish. Other people need to step up and make plays, for sure. Bob's... Oh, your name's Born. Okay, my bad. I can't tell. Let me zoom in here. Yeah, okay. I apologize for calling you Bob. My computer screen, the writing's small. He says York needs to be fired because he don't care about the team, never has. I don't know if he doesn't care about the team. I just think he's clueless, The Harbaugh situation was poorly managed. He should have sided with Harbaugh and got Belky out of there. And I think he knows that. He's stayed more out of the way in this situation. He's letting this team trying to figure its way out of this mess and unbury itself. So I'm not as much against York as I was in the past, but I understand what you're saying. But he, like I said, just like with Parag Marafe, he's not going anywhere, Born. I hate to say it. Even though I agree with you on a lot of points, he's not going anywhere. Notorious Gav says, Ebucom equals bust. Yes, totally. Yeah, he's done crap. He hasn't done anything. I don't know about being a bust. He hasn't played. Joe Montana didn't say he sucked. Joe Montana just said he would have took Mac Jones because Mac Jones is more pro-ready. Mac Jones reminds a lot of people of Joe Montana. He doesn't have the strongest arm. He's very short, or he's very accurate in the short to intermediate areas of the passing game. Kind of like Garoppolo. He just doesn't make stupid mistakes, but he's a rookie, and Garoppolo makes some of those mistakes, and he's like 8 years in. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either. We have to be realistic in some of our expectations of this team, and Trey being traded, unless somebody just traded their number one quarterback to us and we couldn't say no. But that's never going to happen. Don't forget, we just got Omega. Kyle should put him in on the other side of Bosa. He would be unstoppable. Who's Omega? Somebody we just signed? Notorious Gav says, does Ayuk need to step up in the Jags game? Yeah, everybody needs to step up in this game. This game isn't going to be an automatic victory. And if the Niners go into this game with that mindset, they're going to be mistaken. So, yeah, I want to see more out of him. The problem with Jimmy is Jimmy tends to feed guys that he trusts. And I don't know if he trusts Ayuk as much as he trusts Debo. I mean, it's apparent. And Kittle. But, Debo and Garoppolo have a nice rapport and chemistry. I just think Garoppolo is a guy that falls in love with the same player over and over and over. And I think that lends itself to problems when you don't develop chemistry with other players. So, yeah, Ayuk needs to step up big in this game too. Everybody needs to. This is a team we should beat, guys. We should not lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars. If we lose to the Jaguars, hell's going to freeze over. Trey can't read zone. He stops using his brain after getting hit. You can see it in all his vids. I mean, that's the choice the Niners made. They drafted a guy with limited experience who has a lot of upside. He has a great arm, and he's electric as far as athleticism goes. That's why he's been sitting. He's not ready. But you can't, if a guy has gotten 0 reps other than one game, you cannot make an analysis on that and say that a guy's not going to be anything. Now, if he plays next year and the year after and he's complete trash, then yeah, he's a bust. But give him some time. Listen, if Kyle can make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what, with Garoppolo and the way he plays sometimes, with, his deficiencies and his inabilities, he can do the same thing with Trey Lance. Trey Lance is a better athlete. You can bootleg him. You can waggle him. You can move him out of the pocket. You can do zone read kind of stuff. All I'm going to say is that let's pump the brakes on anything to do with Trey Lance until we see him for a long period of time. But I'm not going to – I have no read on the Trey Lance situation because he hasn't played. So theoretically, if we finish with a losing season, does Kyle Shanahan hold on any trade value? Nah, I don't know, man. Kyle ain't going anywhere. At least not this year. Gav. I just don't see it happening. Next year, yes. The Niners were to start out slow again next year, I think he could get fired mid-season, to be honest with you. If they lose out or finish with like a losing record and just have a really bad stretch, somebody's getting fired, whether it's John Lynch, D'Amico, somebody in the front office, somewhere. Someone's going to have to bite the bullet on this one. But we're still in the thick of it right now, guys. You still have a chance, like the gift says with Jim Carrey. So you're telling me we have a chance. We still have a chance for now. So we got to pump the brakes a little bit on the offseason. I'm an offseason fan. I love, free agency and the draft and all that stuff. But football season it takes, when it ends, there's such a long gap in between the season ending and the season starting. So I don't want to think about that right now. I want to see if we can make something out of this season. So yeah, Bourne said it best. Kyle's not going anywhere. He just signed a 6-year extension. Yeah, I mean, if they come out next year and they play like if they end this year with a losing season and then they come out next year and have another losing season, he's gone. There's no way you can keep him. There's no rational explanation. But I don't want to think about that yet. I'm still trying to, believe that the Niners can do something. I've been very negative this year, and so I'm trying to be really positive. If the Niners can come out and play well against the Rams, we'll be 500, guys. We'll be 5-5. So I guess as I, end this thing, we just got to do what we did against the Rams, come out, be aggressive, show our dominance and play well. And I think we'll beat the Jaguars. Now, if we come out and we start turning the ball over and committing penalties, things could get ugly. So this is a team you're supposed to beat. You're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. So if the Niners are what we think they could be, then they should win this game. But we'll see. Sunday's a couple days away. I work tomorrow. I was trying to do a little bit of a roundtable tomorrow or maybe next Saturday. I was going to try to have 4 guests on or 3 guests on. It's just been increasingly difficult. I was trying to have Rob Shue, Silverado Kev, and Jay in the Bay, and it's been kind of hard to get them all on at the same time. Eventually, if I can't get one of them on, I might replace them with another person, but I want to have a discussion with other YouTubers. I'll have some topics. I'll do things in an organized fashion. It just won't be a lot of, people talking over each other. Have a bunch of topics. Everybody gets a chance to answer. I'm hoping to have one tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen. There's a lot of communication going on yesterday, but everybody's kind of stopped communicating with me because they got their own channels and other stuff to do. So, but I'll keep you guys posted. If anything does happen out of that and I have that roundtable, I will be sure to share it on my community tab and I will schedule it so you will see it. And I think you guys will enjoy it. I like doing collaborative stuff. I've never done really a super big group thing other than during the off season. So, hopefully if that works, we'll do it more in the future. I might do a mailbag too soon. So, I might, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I might have people start sending some mailbag questions, or I'll ask the questions, I don't know, on Instagram, wherever I could be, and we can start doing some of that too. Because I see mailbag questions are something that, people really like doing it. So, just trying to keep, the channel fresh and do different things. Bourne says, yeah, I don't have much faith in Kyle. I think he's washed up now. We'll see. This is an important stretch for him. You might be right. Hopefully you're wrong, but you might be right. Venom says, I'm ready for this game. Next game, honestly. Yeah, me too. Me too, my man. Easy win for the 49ers, 100%. You better be right. I hope you're right. I think you're right. But you better show up if they lose. Keep that same energy. I'm saying they're going to win too, but if we lose and I do a live stream, I better see you. You got to own up. Hopefully you're right, though. Ask Jack Hammer to come on the show, top pundit. Yeah, I don't know if Jack Hammer likes me too much, as I was critical of Grant Cohn in the past or other people in the past, but I'll give him a try. We'll see. There's a couple people that I've, been critical in the past, and they kind of ignore me on Twitter, but for the most part, I interact with people. They respond. I've had good interactions with like the guys from Real Talk, Niner Talk. They're really awesome. Like I said, Jay and the Bay is great. Bashar from 49er Minded. He's been going through some things, so everybody keep him in their prayers. He's been going through some issues with his mom's health, but he's looking to get back on YouTube soon. So if you guys follow 49er Minded and you follow him on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, give him a shout out. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. That's pretty much it, guys. If you want me to give a score prediction for Sunday, I say 49ers 34, Jacksonville 21. I'll give Jacksonville a fighting chance, but I thought that the Niners, put a 30 burger on them. So I don't like this sissies NFL. Remember? Yeah, I do too, man. Guys don't play hurt anymore. It's too many business decisions, but it's a different era, bigger athletes. Everybody's bigger and stronger and faster. So I feel the exact same way you do. I'm going to be 42 in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I miss the old NFL too, but we live in 2021. There's nothing we can do about it. Notorious Gav says, I've been critical of Grant, and me and Jack get on fine. Just ask him. He's super nice, chill guy. Yeah, I'll give him a shout out. I'll probably do it right after the stream, actually, Gav. Thank you. All right, bet. Hopefully be in your stream once again. If I don't, sometimes I don't be looking. Yeah, it's fine, man. Don't worry about it. If you're on here and we win, I'll give you a shout out. And if we lose, I'm coming for you. I like the energy though. I like the confidence. So, don't lose that. I'm just nervous. You know what I mean? I'm a nervous fan. I'm not one of those fans that's like, yeah, we got this. I'm always like, I think we got this. Oh, there's nothing wrong with a woman kicker in the NFL, man. I don't care. As long as she's not playing a defensive position or offensive position. But if she's going to kick, then whatever. Notorious Gab, 1981 baby. Me too. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, I was born in December 14th of 79, so I turned 42 in 3 weeks. So, yeah, I'm getting old, man. My body hurts. I'm broken down. I'm probably going to have another shoulder surgery, which will make it 3. I've got a tear in my rotator cuff. So yeah, life gets tough when you get older, man. Your body breaks down. Notorious Gab says, do it. All right. I'll definitely get in touch with him. Venom says, I'm keeping that same energy, and dang, we can't lose like that, but I understand these bad teams can really do something, but hopefully it ain't like that. Yeah. They're going to have some fight. I don't think we're just going to roll over them, to be honest with you. But if we're smart and we come in and we play like we did against the Rams and we're aggressive and we don't turn the ball over and we don't commit a lot of stupid penalties, and I think we should beat the Jags. My boss actually is a Jags fan. So if we lose, he's going to give me a lot of crap. If we win, I'm bringing that. I'm bringing it, right? So he does my scheduling, so I got to be a little bit nice to him. But if we win, I'm going to be, I'm going to be all over him. But all right, guys, thanks everybody for coming on. I appreciate it. That's going to do it for me for now. I think the Jags have fans. Yes, they do. Mostly in Jacksonville, but my boss is actually a Jags fan. It's kind of weird. I don't know the next time I'm going to stream. I possibly might do a live stream Sunday, a live react, but I have to be up really early the next 4 out of 5 days, like 4 a.m.s. I'm at work really early. So streaming is going to be kind of on the back burner probably till next weekend because I have a 3-day weekend. I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for all the freaking interaction today. I appreciate it. Venom, I want you to be right so that I can come at you and say thank you. So hopefully the Niners do good by you and do good by me. And for everybody else, I'll see you next time. I'll keep you updated on my community tab if you follow me on YouTube. If anything changes. And I am definitely going to look into getting Jackhammer on this show. So thank you, everybody, for coming on. Appreciate it. Look for some more collaborations in the future. Again, I'll keep you updated on the community tab. But until next time, guys, as usual, I'll see you on the flip side. Bye, everyone.